I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We're disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's keep firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Rooted men, good morning. Pastor G with you on this Wednesday morning. You know, I had to laugh. Steve Giroux, you were talking the other day about how the word generator comes up for Aaron's song, and it just totally misses his words. I mean, have you guys experienced that with voice to text or whatever, and it just totally gets it wrong? Wow. I mean, I think we actually need to write down the words that it's thinking Aaron is saying on that song. It's pretty hilarious. But anyway, great to be with you guys. And Steve Giroux, awesome work yesterday, and Matt Ryan, excellent the day before. And it's just great that we can give Pastor Tom a little bit of a break here while he's out seeing his grandbaby. So that is just awesome. But anyway, let's see who's on board here. We've got in Facebook land, looks like Ken Gooch. Good morning, Ken. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Ed Pila, good morning. And here in YouTube land, we've got Steve Giroux and Brian Vlaming. All right, guys, it's a good group here. So let's dig in. So we've got chapter 2 of Hebrews. We're looking at verses 1 through 4. And again, kind of my highlighting scheme, I'll just tell you. So the purple is... if you remember kind of the in school, you would have maybe the less harsh corrections would be in purple. Red is definitely caution. Yellow is just interesting, and blue, I put that for angels. So anyway, that's kind of the method behind the madness. But here we go. We must pay more careful attention, therefore, to what we have heard, Whenever you see a therefore, I'm always asking, what's the therefore there for? So as again, Steve did such a great job yesterday. I really liked, Steve, how you talked about the angels and talking about Christ's superiority to the angels and looking at different passages there. But essentially what the writer of Hebrews is, and we don't know who that is exactly, but he is saying we must pay more careful attention to what? Well, to the message that we have heard. And what is the message? That salvation comes through faith in Jesus Christ. This is so that we do not, and here's the red, drift away. This is going to be so important, guys, because it again, thanks Matt for bringing the context here. Whoever is writing Hebrews, he is writing to most likely Jewish Christians, Jewish believers in Rome somewhere. We think in Italy, and these Jewish Christians had a real challenge on their hands, and that was to resist going back to Judaism. It was very, very much of, I mean, we just can't even really get our minds around just how inculcated the Jewish culture was for a person. So kind of like if you've learned about Islam and how Islam is so much more than just a religion, it's a way of life, it's all of these things. So it's very difficult for someone to, if they convert to Christianity, to actually leave Islam. And I think something very similar here with Judaism. And so Paul, or excuse me, it might be Paul, we don't know, it might be Apollos, whoever this is saying, listen, I'm not talking to Gentiles now, I'm talking to Jewish believers, Jewish Christians. You need to pay more careful attention so that you do not drift away. Then he goes on to say, if message spoken by angels was binding, and every violation and disobedience received its just punishment, how shall we escape if we ignore such a great salvation? So essentially, he's talking about in the Old Testament that many revelations were God brought through messengers, through angels to the prophets, to the people. And essentially he's just saying, look, guys, we've had the final revelation now coming from Jesus Christ. And so how much greater, like Steve pointed out yesterday, how much greater is Jesus Christ than the angels? So there's no excuse. We cannot ignore such a great salvation. This salvation, which was first announced by the Lord, was confirmed to us by those who heard him. Now, this is why most commentators think that it probably was not Paul who wrote this, because remember, Paul, he had the special revelation, right, from Jesus directly. And so he wouldn't need to have something confirmed, right, by those who heard him. That this also states that it makes it clear that those who heard him would have been obviously with Jesus. Paul was not with Jesus, but he had that special revelation. So there it is, guys. I hope this is encouraging to you. Again, what the writer of Hebrews is going to do, he's going to set out 5 different warnings throughout Hebrews. And it's basically the warnings to not fall away, to not drift away. We're in Hebrews chapter 6. I mean, it's going to be a very, very challenging a section of talking about what happens when someone does drift away. Lots of good stuff here. But I think the important word for us this morning, and this I'll just close with this, is a reminder that most Jewish people today are very secular in nature. You've got sort of on one extreme, you've got the Reform Judaism, which is very, very liberal. I mean, it'd be akin to our liberal Christianity. But then you've got conservative and then Orthodox. And even the conservative, they see the revelations given as much more of a humanitarian, that God does speak, but that it doesn't come necessarily through the Torah. It comes through people's understanding of life and as it evolves. And so that's pretty, that's not very, how should I put it, set apart from the culture. the only ones who are really holding to the Torah are the Orthodox. And so, and this was the case back then as well. And so you had you had a Jewish culture that was had very much embraced the culture of Rome, and a lot of the even the paganism that was prevalent at the time. And so, just as, let's say, the Apostle Paul is writing to encourage the Ephesian Christians, right, who are living in Ephesus, which was, very much Gentile. So he's writing to encourage the Gentile believers to come out of the world, right? Show yourself set apart. Now this writer of Hebrews is doing the same thing for these Jewish Christians, saying, hey, look, guys, you've got to lay down your Judaism, and you've got to be sold out for the Lord. Jesus Christ gave everything for you, and now he expects you to take up your cross and follow him. So guys, that's a word for someone here this morning. Take up your cross. Listen, it's hard, but he is with us. It's worth it. We know who wins in the end. What did we just celebrate? Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hey, look, Bobby Roop's in the house. Bobby, I love, you had a Facebook post, brother, that just said, it's Monday and he is still risen. And I just feel like that carry that resurrection theme with you guys, that greater is he who is in us. It is a battle. We are not on a cruise ship. Okay. We're on a rescue mission, but nevertheless, God is with us. So hope that's a blessing to you guys. Hey, have a firmly rooted day. May someone see Jesus in us today. Peace, guys. I'm out.